Peace, everybody. Wow, that's pretty cool. Glasses. All right. Exciting day. I just got a new amp. Well, actually, I got a new amplifiers. I got a bunch of new amps. Used to be the day where you walk into the store, come out with a Fender Princeton. Woohoo, that was great. And I don't know why those things are so much money today. They got 20 watts of power, which is literally 10 watts RMS on it. What, 10-inch speaker. But, hey, that's great. I wish I'd kept that thing. It'd be worth a lot of money today. Got the positive grid bias amp too, so that's very cool. And the only way I can describe it is take a look at here's the amp. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, but see the amp. And I don't know if I should try doing the narration right now. I will, and then I'll follow the overdub if I decide to overdub it. We'll see how that goes. And I thought I had there it is. Alright. So back in the day, when I was like a little tyke, it was really cool to, you're freshly born, you're checking the world out, you're doing things, and you got Lincoln logs you're putting together, you got the Legos, and you got the constructor set, and you're putting everything together. And Radio Shack had 20-in-1 electronic thing, and it's like, wow, 20-in-1, that's cool, And then my grandfather got me 100-in-1 for Christmas, and it's like, wow, or 120. It's like, blows you away. You could make like a little solar, they could make like a little radio stuff. It didn't matter, it was just 100 things to put together. So that was really cool. And as I got older, my brother used to he used to wake up in the morning and find the stereo equipment all over the floor, He had a woolen sack reel-to-reel tape deck. I remember that. And then a woolen sack reel-to-reel. It's like, wow, this thing is good. Well, it doesn't work, You got to take it apart, and I can't put it together. Leave all the parts laying around. My brother would wake up, he'd be flipping out. What? And that wasn't the only thing I destroyed. I tore his speakers apart, looking at the inside of the speakers, and whatever we had to do. We had a radio combination turntable. The turntable stopped working, just cut that off, and use the amplifier section. Do what you gotta do to have fun, make stuff work. Well, the main thing of playing guitar, music, the whole thing, people, they argue about the live versus bias, or virtual versus reality and all that. Hey, we're here to have fun. So this is so cool. It brings back what I used to like. I can't build amplifiers. I don't work at an amplifier company. But with Positive Grid's amp section, yes, you can go in and you can get right into the amplifier section. Change tubes individually. Pretty cool. You want to change the transformer out, try different transformers. It's not real, no, but I'll tell you what it could do when, instead of, I want to buy an amp, I'm going to go to the store. You got the Eddie Van Halen amps out. You got the Marshall Stats. You got the Fender Twins. You got the Fender Princess. What do I want? I can't afford all those amps. Not afford the cabinets to go with it. 412s with Celestians in it. Come on. So this program can get you in line with what you want to go to the store to purchase. So say, for example, your favorite guitarist is Eddie Van Halen. You can get the Eddie Van Halen set up on there. See if you like the Celestian speakers better than the Fender speakers or Marshall speakers. You can try out the different speakers, and then when you go to the store, say, hey, I'd like to get a custom set. I really don't want to take what's on the floor. I've tried, different things out, and I'd like to get the, Marshall amp with Celestian creamback speakers, for example. So yeah, you go into the cabinet section on this. Unfortunately, I haven't bought the Celestian pack yet, but that is like very close, very close. We have the Celestian V30s available. We have the Celestian T75s available. We have the greenback 25s, which are a popular speaker. Unfortunately, I don't know all the lingo, how these guys are changing the names to be license free, so I don't know. Well, they're paying the license for Celestian, but all the other ones, I don't, the cabinet's orange, so I'm assuming it's orange cabinet. I assume that. I could be way off the mark, but it's orange, so it's probably an orange. I got no idea about Fenders. I wouldn't know what any of these names would be to represent Fender. A little bit easier on the Positive Grid Spark, because they call it Lux Firm instead of, the Fender Twin. So you want to change out the transformers. They also have a thing which is really cool, is amp match. So if you have a bunch of different amplifiers, or your friend's got an amplifier that you'd like, and like, hey, let me mind if I, mic your amp, bring it home and see if I like it. And sure, So that's a really cool feature. Bring it to the store, maybe they'd let you mic an amp. And of course, we already did the power amps. You can equalize it. I don't think we really went over the preamp too much, so they got the preamp section on it. There's so much. I've just bought it. It's going to take me a little bit to figure things out, but I did try it, and it works. It worked right out of the box. I've had the trial version, and really couldn't do much with the trial version. So when I got this, it worked great. And I was like, okay, how do we get this into Bias FX? And I watched one YouTube video, 2 YouTube videos. Boom, very easy. I got it first try. It's like, once you make it and you save it in Bias Amp, it automatically goes into Bias FX down into the little section. So I'm really not going to get into a super in-depth video here, just letting everybody know about new amp. Everybody likes to buy new stuff, so that's really cool. I got a new amplifier, and they say there's 100 amps. They have 100 new amp match presets, and I believe those are all Positive Grid official effects. Not 100% sure, but yeah, Positive Grid official, Positive Grid official. So they've got the Mesa Boogie, Fender Twin reverb, as I was saying before. They weren't using, they call it the Lux Firm. So they must have gotten some contract to be able to say, all right, look, we want the orange amp, here's the orange. And that's great because I had trouble figuring out what they're changing the names to. Look what else we got. We got the Vox. Here's one called a Dumble. I've never heard of Dumble amp, so it's kind of cool where instead of going to the store and I'm being rushed, plugging the guitar in, trying a Fender Twin and trying a Marshall, and you get the store full of people, and you're not really you're overwhelmed anyway being in the store. So now I can go to this and say, wow, what is the Dumble amp? I've never heard of them. I've heard of Vox. Beatles made Vox popular. I've never used Vox myself. Why not? It worked for John Lennon, George Harrison, all the Beatles equipment. The bass was Fender Bassman. Try Fender. So why haven't I ever used Vox? I don't know. Because I know why. Because I'm overwhelmed. When there's 100 amps to choose from, how do you can't play 100 amps. You don't go into the store and say, give me 100 amps. What do you want? Well, give me 3 Fenders, 3 Marshalls, give me an Eddie Van Halen. I heard there's some kind of Dumbledore amp out there. And throws right? Even if you're the millionaire's kid and dad gives you $100,000, go buy a house full of amps. The stores don't even have 100 amps to give you. Right? So that's really cool. Now I got a lot of stuff I can learn, I can do, look at, and I'm never want to stop learning and checking this new stuff out. I mean, it's just like I'm a light bulb that seems to be ready to. It's like extra bright. So I'm ready to go, and I'm probably gonna burn out tomorrow. And I can't describe all the different things in this program yet because there are so many. Don't ever say on tape. I might cut that out, but bass, classic, blues, metal presets, 100 presets. Besides the top custom blues amps. It's just incredible. I like playing around with electronic stuff, to be able to sit and not have actual pedals on the ground that you have to have 9-volt batteries in. That's just too much to try to, I've never found the really great pedal yet. So that's why I don't like to have 15 pedals on the floor all chained together, and then they add noise together, and I gotta have all the things plugged in. It's just, I can't do that much. So we'll get into that in a little bit, but peace out. So one thing I haven't figured out yet is how to get a studio quality recording with the bias amp while I'm playing around to show you guys with a studio quality sound. Because the way I do it with Bias FX, it's automatically imported to Ableton Live software. Boom, I hit record, and it's a studio quality sound. What we're hearing now is a sound directly recorded to the iPhone, and you can't play with the different tones. I can import anything I create in the Bias amp into Bias FX, but I can't play it live in the Bias FX that I know of. Maybe there's a way to do it. I just don't know how to do that. So we'll do a little experiment here, see what the sound comes out. And I've also only got one speaker working. I'm not sure what the issue is there yet. I'll address that at a later date, which is today. And this is the British 900 Clean that I played around with. And I changed that to put a little bit of distortion in there. Not a lot, just a little bit. Make it look a little bit good. had to put a little bit of tone on there. So that's the one sound. And then we went back. There it is, clean, regular. And then we can go through, check out all the different tubes and transformers and things like that added on there to make up that tone, which is, like I said, it's so cool. It is really overwhelming. There's too much. There's like probably 5 tubes on every setting. So if you went, for example, into bright, clean, metal, modern, smooth, solid state, top boost, this is just power amps. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 different power amps with at least 5 or 6 tubes that you can change in each one. And they all change together, so that's pretty cool. And if you go to the transformer, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different tubes that you can change besides the transformer in just that section. The preamp, same thing. They have 10 different effects from British Crunch, high gain, rock, top boost, ultra clean. One of my favorite things is actually to see how clean we can get the guitar to sound. It's like, I like acoustics, I like clean sounding guitars, I like crunch, I like distortion, I like everything. But how clean can you get a guitar? It's fun. How clean can you get it? For example, let's try it. That's ultra clean, but I was gonna say I was on distortion on the power amp. No, this is British clean. So from there you can change your tubes. It's a big difference just changing different tubes. And those only change by the pair. So they don't all 4 change. You can have 2 different style tubes in it. It's overwhelming. What can I say? And I haven't even touched any knobs. Come on. I haven't even touched any knobs on the bottom. Might mess something up. But that's it. The knobs all change between the glossy, the crunches, and then you can do your individual personal choices. So you can pretty much design your own amplifier that nobody else has out there. Put it on the cloud. Other people might like it. I'm guilty of making sounds and playing the guitar. How come you didn't put it on the cloud? Well, 1, I really didn't know how. 2, I didn't think anybody would be interested in my tones. They are. I'm sorry. I gotta start posting stuff on the cloud. I like to share. I like, that's how we all learn, by sharing everybody's stuff. So I'm starting to yak too long. 5 minutes is approaching up. Let's cut this short. Peace out, everybody. We'll get into a more detailed video here of what this bias amp is all about and all the different effects. I mean, how do you choose your cabinet? How do you choose what speaker you like? You go into a store, have you heard all the Fenders, Marshalls, Eddie Van Halen amps out there? I've never heard of an Eddie Van Halen amp in the store, I don't know how they sound, but I can be more prepared when I go to the store next time by using this program. Having an idea when I walk in, hey, I want to take a look at a Fender Twin with the Fender speakers that come with it stock. That's it's in here. It's one of the best amps on the planet at the time. It's great. And if maybe I want to try a Marshall, maybe there's all these amps, blah blah blah. Peace out, everybody.